Syrian Arab Army continues its advance in Yabroud and tightens control over the eastern entrance and northeastern borders of the town. Russia affirms the necessity of the unity of the international community to halt violence in Syria and eliminate terrorist threats there. And Russia also affirms that Crimea Island referendum is constitutional and Washington and the US should respect it and halt instigation. Good afternoon, this is news in English from the Syrian Arab television in Damascus. A military source said that army units advanced in the farms of Yabroud city in Damascus countryside and tightened control over the eastern entrance and northeastern borders of the town. The source added that full collapse within the armed terrorist group's ranks accompanied the army's advance in the city. The army units killed a number of terrorists in the industrial area and Talkalakh roundabout in Yabroud city. In Douma, a meeting was held at the Arab Cultural Center in Al-Midan in the presence of Damascus countryside Governor Engineer Hussein Makhlouf and Secretary of Ba'ath Arab Socialist Party in the city, Mohammed Bakhit. Discussions centered on means of upgrading the services situation in the city and the efforts being exerted to achieve national reconciliation and restore security and stability to the city. Authorities, in cooperation with locals, stormed two terrorist dens in Al-Qasur district in Hama and arrested all terrorists inside it. A military source said that a number of several machine guns, snipers, grenades and explosive devices were seized in the hideout. Earlier, an army unit attacked a den in the same neighborhood, arresting several terrorists who were inside and seizing their weapons. An army unit also dismantled several explosive devices in Tibat al-Imam in the northern countryside of the city. In Talkalakh countryside, the Syrian Arab Army units tightened control over the hills surrounding Hasarjieh village. Meanwhile, the army units carried out an ambush in Al-Qay'a valley to eliminate 13 terrorists who were trying to infiltrate from Al-Husn town to Wadi Khalid area in Lebanon. In Al-Hasarjieh, 2 children were injured, one to the explosion of a bombshell launched by terrorists on a house in Talkalakh neighborhood, which resulted in material damage to the place. Going to Dar'a, the Syrian Arab Army units eliminated an armed terrorist group to the north of Al-Khazan al-Gharbi in Samalain in the countryside of the city. A lot of newspaper based in London has disclosed that member of the political committee of the so-called Syrian National Coalition, Kamal Labwani, presented an offer calling for signing a peace agreement with the Zionist entity and consenting the occupied Syrian Golan Heights in return for a direct Israeli intervention in favor of the opposition terrorists and establishing a no-fly zone to the south of Syria. The Daily quoted Al-Labwani as saying that if Israel interferes in Syria militarily, it will not be an occupation force, rather it is a force of liberation, adding that the opposition will offer every possible aid to Israel in case it interferes. The Russian Foreign Ministry said that the participating delegations in the conference titled Syria Road Towards Peace, which was held at the United Nations in Geneva on the occasion of the 25th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council UNHRC, were unanimous on the need for a political solution to the crisis in Syria on the basis of Geneva Communique, issued in June 2012, and through inter-Syrian dialogue. The statement released by the ministry affirmed that Russia strongly calls for the resumption of the talks between the Syrian government and the opposition, referring to the necessity of the unity of the international community to halt violence in Syria and eliminate terrorist threats in the country. Moving to Egypt, where 6 police officers were killed in an armed attack on a military checkpoint, whereas the Egyptian army in a statement accused the Muslim Brotherhood of doing such terrorist acts, saying that armed terrorists from the Muslim Brotherhood attacked a military checkpoint in Al-Qayyubiyah, which resulted in killing 6 police officers, adding that 2 explosive devices in the same place were discovered and dismantled. And in Turkey, more than 2 million people participated in demonstrations against Erdogan's government. The demonstrations swept more than 53 cities and towns and resulted in the injury of more than 95 citizens, as a number of facilities were exposed to vandalism. The people of Crimea Island cast their votes tomorrow for self-rule inside Ukraine in a popular referendum to join the Russian Federation. Opinion polls have shown that the supporters of unity with Russia will win at a rate of 80%. Crimea was an integral part of Russia, taking the status of a republic with self-rule affiliated to the former Soviet Union in the 50s. Former Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev conceded it to Ukraine. The United States and the West are trying to instigate Ukrainian rebellion against Russia to achieve geopolitical interests against Russia. With this, we come to the end of our news for today. For more details about Syria and the region, you can visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Stay with us after the break, the latest in the world of finance and economy with Narima Hassan.